My sister-in-law, Brenda, she's obsessed with sushi, right? After she got pregnant, she started losing weight, but her stomach just kept getting bigger and bigger. I swear, I thought she wasn't carrying a baby, but a freaking giant tapeworm. And wouldn't you know it, I was right. I caught it one night, saw this huge worm slithering out from under her nightgown for some air. I totally freaked out, dragged her to the ER that night to get dewormed. They pulled out this tapeworm that was, like, 3 feet long. And yeah, she lost the baby. My parents blamed me for killing their grandkid, and Brenda and my brother, Kevin, blamed me for offing their son. Then they had the nerve to try and force me to eat the damn tapeworm. The thing hatched a million little worms that burrowed all through my body. I died from the inside out, screaming in pain. Then I woke up, back to the night I saw the tapeworm taking a breather. I just smirked and quietly closed their bedroom door. The moment I opened my eyes, I saw that white, wormy head poking out from under Brenda's nightie. It just kept wriggling along like nobody's business, more and more of its pale, slimy body oozing out. It made my skin crawl. I could still feel those little worms squirming around inside me, the agony of my insides being ripped apart. I clenched my fists, fighting back the urge to scream, and quietly shut Kevin and Brenda's door. I was about to head back to my room when I saw my mom standing in the living room, staring right at me. I held my breath, my heart pounding. I had no idea if mom had seen anything. What the heck are you doing up, you lazy bum? Why are you not asleep? Hearing mom say that, I let out a silent breath of relief and tried to smile. Just saw that Kevin's door was open a crack. Didn't want our little nephew to get cold, so I closed it. Good for you, doing something for once. Mom rolled her eyes and went back inside. I tiptoed back to my room and collapsed on my tiny bed, finally able to relax. Brenda might be from around here, but she's crazy for sushi. Ever since she got pregnant, she's been eating like a horse, putting away a whole platter in one sitting. Her stomach keeps getting bigger, but she's losing weight everywhere else. I knew something was up, suspected it wasn't a baby she was carrying, but a giant tapeworm. I tried to gently suggest she get checked out, but Brenda just flipped out. It just means my baby's getting all the nutrients. Are you jealous I'm having a healthy, chubby little boy? You just can't stand to see me happy. Mom chimed in too, yelling at me and calling me a bad omen, then demanding I give her $50 to buy Brenda more sushi. Then, yeah, I saw the tapeworm crawling out from under her nightgown in the middle of the night. I freaked out, screamed, and dragged her to the hospital to get dewormed. The doctor pulled out this tapeworm that was, like, 3 feet long, plus a whole bunch of smaller worms. Brenda lost the baby and lost any chance of having another one. Kevin and Brenda blamed me for everything, said my big mouth turned their baby into a worm. My parents were just as bad, saying I'd killed their grandkid. They grabbed that disgusting tapeworm and tried to force me to swallow it. You killed my grandson, so you're going to eat it. The big worm started spawning a bunch of smaller worms that broke through my stomach and burrowed into my organs. I was in so much pain, I begged them to take me to the hospital. They didn't care, just locked me in my room and let those worms crawl out of my body until I died from the inside out. I shook my head and closed my eyes again. If they're so desperate for a son, then maybe they should all have one. First thing in the morning, there was Brenda, with a huge platter of sushi in front of her. She was so skinny, but her stomach, even though she was only 5 months along, looked like she was carrying twins. It was kinda creepy. She was just grabbing handfuls of raw seafood, stuffing her face with it. The slimy juice was running down her chin. It reminded me of what I saw last night, and I couldn't help but frown. In no time, the platter was empty. She caught me staring and glared at me. What are you looking at? You jealous my baby's getting enough to eat? You gonna say something to curse him again? Mom heard that from the kitchen and went ballistic, running out and slapping me across the face. You little brat! You're going to curse my grandbaby? Get on your knees and apologize, or I'll make you sorry. My dad and Kevin were glaring at me too, like I was some kind of monster. Brenda patted her stomach and smirked, waiting for me to beg forgiveness from her and the thing inside her. I just smiled. You misunderstood. I'm happy that you're well and that the baby is thriving. You are doing us all a great service. I used to be naive, but now I know that sushi is extremely nutritious, and my sister-in-law is providing the baby with excellent nutrients. I was going to ask you for a taste since you're having such a great feast. Brenda glared at me and hid the empty plate in her arms. There is not enough for my baby, so you cannot have any. Mom kicked me. Don't even think about it. You aren't getting anywhere near my grandbaby's food. Now get to work. You won't be eating anything today. Kevin spat at me, a look of pure hatred on his face. You don't earn a thing, and yet you want my son's food. You may as well get married so that we can use the marriage money for more sushi for the baby. He was the one leeching off mom and me, and now he was blaming me for the financial situation. What are you talking about? I would never take food away from my nephew. My friend just opened up a sushi store, and I ordered a large amount of sushi just for her to have. I'm on my way to pick it up now. Mom, Dad, Kevin, and Brenda looked at me with excitement. Sushi was expensive. I was the only person keeping them afloat at this point. Mom instantly changed her behavior and took the broom from my hand, beaming. My daughter is so talented. Go and do what you have to do. I can take care of this work. I didn't argue, got dressed, and left. I ran all over town, buying up discounted sushi everywhere. I then contacted my connections and had them ship me an even larger amount of discount sushi. I was dragging a pile of sushi home when it was already dark out. As soon as I entered the door, Mom yelled at me. What took you so long? Your sister-in-law is hungry. What are you doing to my grandson? I immediately showed the cart behind me. The place was a little far away, and there was a lot of food, so it took a while. Mom's eyes were bulging out. She did not care what I was saying at this point. I smiled lightly. I made sure to buy a lot so that everyone can have some. Hearing me say that, Mom gulped down her saliva. Sushi was very expensive, and I had seen them long to eat it for a while. Brenda's eyes were glistening behind Mom, to the point where she might try to eat it now. She urged me to do it quicker. Quick! Do it quick! My son is hungry. As soon as I put the large platter of sushi on the table, Dad, Kevin, and Brenda ravenously went for it. This is amazing. This is why my son likes it so much. We have a kid who has good taste. Mom pushed through the crowd and glared at me. Don't just stand there. Keep going. Can't you see that they want to eat? I kept putting platter after platter on the table. Mom saw that I was not eating any and asked, Joy, why aren't you eating? I started panicking inside and carefully responded. There is always an end to eating the sushi. Of course, the best things must be reserved for my parents and my siblings. Mom did not think too much about it and let out a comment of understanding and continued to eat sushi. They were gorging themselves to the point where the juices were running down their face. I watched with a cold gaze. The discount sushi had so many worms in it. Eat. The more you eat, the better. Since you want a son so badly, then let us all have sons. Ever since I got that cart of seafood back, we've been having sushi almost every meal. Brenda's appetite has gone from 1 platter to 2. Her stomach's getting huge, but she's skin and bones everywhere else. She pats her stomach, which looks like she's swallowed 2 watermelons, with a proud smile. My baby's going going to be the biggest, healthiest baby ever. I felt him kicking the other day, she says, tearing apart a still wriggling octopus and shoving it in her mouth. I know it's not the baby kicking, it's the tapeworms moving around. Judging by the bulging on her stomach, they're about ready to come out. I help Mom, who's also